Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about some Linux news and go over some exciting stuff that's happening. But first, before we do that, I'd like to thank our newest subscribers. We are now at 580 subscribers. Thanks, guys, so much for that. Our newest subscribers are Zoran Gajaski. I hope I didn't butcher that. I really hope I don't. Having a long last name that has gotten butchered all my life, I certainly empathize, but I am sorry I tried. So I'm not sure if it's Gadsky or Gajaski, but either way, it's Zoran Gajaski. And Consumer is our other newest subscriber. Thanks, guys, so much for liking, subscribing, and following me. I really can't do this without you guys. Today's first topic on the Linux news environment is that those of you guys who are the Unity desktop lovers, the old Ubuntu Unity desktop, well, great news for you guys. If you guys have moved on from Ubuntu and you've gone into Arch, it is now available on Arch. Yep, that's right. Unity Desktop is already ready to be installed on Arch now. What you have to do, though, is you have to use Peru or, I believe, Yay. Both of those are AUR helpers because what you need is in the AUR. And then what you do is you install those. Of course, you can find, how to do that online. It's just a simple Google search, and you'll have how to install it. Then you install a script called the Unity-installer-arch script, and the way you would do that is you type in either Peru, P-A-R-U, or Yay, Y-A-Y, space, capital S, Unity-installer-arch, and then that will install it. So then what you do is you have to drop down into a TTY, and you have to run the command to run the Unity installer arch, which is Unity installer in a TTY. So that's as simple as typing into F1, F2, to drop down to a TTY and typing that in. I'm not sure. I have to look at this. You have to look at the script and see if it's a .sh. Then it would require you to do // then the name of the script, which would be the Unity installer arch. Then you select install the Unity desktop. Change the default display manager to LightDM. So if you don't have LightDM installed, say you're on a KDE install or whatever, or even a GNOME desktop, it's usually GDM, you'd want to make sure that you install LightDM. Now, that is pretty simple to do. Once again, another Google search. It's a matter of downloading and installing through the Pacman or through the AUR, whichever one it's available on your distro. For LightDM, and then you have to go in and you have to enable it through your systemd in order to take over and stop running SDDM or GDM, whichever one it is that you might have if you're using GNOME or KDE. And then you want to also set it to use the Unity greeter as a default greeter, which uses a LightDM. So in any way, shape, or form, there you have that. That's exactly how to install the Unity desktop on Arch Linux. And in other news, what's taken 18 years to finally manifest is finally going to happen with GNOME 44's release. And that's something simple, something that most of us take for granted in most other file managers or file pickers, whatever you want to call it. And it's that after 18 years, GNOME has finally added to their GNOME files a thumbnail view. Most days these days, whenever you open up the file view, you get a wild, list, text list type view, right? But now they're going to actually catch up to modern day times, and they're going to actually start giving you the actual file icons and the folder icons and stuff in there instead of the list view, which is going to be mind-blowing apparently, because it's not like anybody else hasn't experienced that on any other type of file manager such as Thunar or Kaha or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of weird how it's taken them that long to do that. But either way, it's there. You're now going to have the thumbnail view, and that's something to look forward to in the new GNOME 44 release. For those of you who are internet privacy minded, which most of us should be, because we don't want people collecting telemetry, or we don't want to give our sensitive data online, and you want to protect it as much as possible, that's obviously a no-brainer. But you guys will be happy to know that Tails 5.7 was released, and one of the new two things that they did in it were, one, they implemented a metadata cleaner. It's a new addition to Tails, which you can use to clean a file's metadata. So that way, personal information isn't being sent if you're transmitting any kind of files or anything like that. And so you can prevent malicious actors from personally identifying you. So like what a lot of people do is there's metadata tagged into photos and different files that will tell you what your computer name is, your IP address, even your username, all that kind of stuff that's in there. And so this metadata cleaner actually removes that while you're connected and doing what you do. The other thing that they did is they also updated Tor browser to 11.58, which it contains a variety of CVE fixes, OpenSSL fixes, and no script fixes. So with that being fixed, it fixed two stability issues with the Tor connection as well, and a workaround for a known issue for the Tor connection getting stuck at around 50%, which was fixed. So if that's the case, man, and you guys are into securing the internet, and doing things that need that kind of security, you guys can certainly download Tails at their official website. Another thing in news is XFCE 4.18 released now, and it's got some pretty cool new looks to it. They've cleaned up the desktop a little bit. They've did improvements to the file manager. The desktop panels were changed a little bit, and more settings for you to tinker with, and they added new wallpapers. So for you guys that are XFCE lovers, you guys got a new cosmetic makeover, so to speak. Also, a new search icon is in the toolbars to allow users to search for files and folders. They added a split view as well in their file manager, and they've also added a standalone image preview. So that is enhancements made to the file manager. A new tab for customizing keyboard shortcuts as well, so you could literally become more productive by using keyboard shortcuts as you would in any of your Windows managers. And they also have a new bookmark menu as well for use in that as well. So just keep in mind that if you guys want to install that, you guys can go to the XFCE and download it and install it through the GitHub, or you can look for it in your distributions package manager, or maybe do a system update if you're already on XFCE, and it should implement it right away. Also, for you guys, Puppy Linux has released a new build. It is S15 Pup. It's based off of Slackware 15. It is available for download, and you can find it at the Puppy Linux forum. And there's a link in there for you to get it. So if you guys are a Puppy Linux fan and you're a Slackware fan and you haven't tried Puppy Linux, hey, jump on over, grab a download, install it, have fun with it, enjoy it. Now, saving the best for last, and this is a huge win for privacy. Facebook tracking is illegal in Europe. That, along with Instagram and WhatsApp. That's right. They are illegal to track you in Europe. The decision of the EU privacy regulators was held, and they decided in a far-reaching decision on Monday. EU privacy regulators said that the Meta Platforms Inc. must not force users to agree to personalize ads based on their online activity. The ruling could enormously limit the data that Meta can use to sell targeted ads. Now, we've all complained about it. How is it that they know what the heck ads to send me? Like, there's many times that my coworkers and I or somebody has been talking, about a certain product that we're looking for, whether it's a TV or a game or what have you. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're getting flooded with apps or with ads in your Facebook or wherever for these things that you were talking about. Oftentimes it's based off some people's Google search, whatever. But either way, all that tracking in those targeted ads are now illegal in Europe. And what they were simply saying is that simply putting a paragraph in the terms of service to which users have to agree is not sufficient. According to the General Data Protection Regulation, such terms are no justification to collect data and post targeted ads. Instead, Meta platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp must give users a clear yes or no choice where they can actively agree to be targeted and tracked or refuse it, which I know a million people that have complained against that on Facebook that I've been on or Instagram, everywhere. Everybody wants not to get those stupid ads. So I think that this is something that needs to come to the US as well, because the reality of it is it's your public identity, it's your account, it's your thing, and you should have the option to opt into that or out of that. It's not a bad idea. I'm never going to argue that, because sometimes people like to get online and find exactly what it is they're looking for and have every bit of that information given to them. Other people don't mind hunting and pecking, but the point is you should be able to opt in or out of that. Now, understand that wasn't easy feat by any means to do that, because you got to remember, in the metadata targeting and stuff like that, you're looking at roughly, hundreds of thousands of businesses and companies that pour money into ad revenue and support and stuff like that for these different platforms. And it costs them a lot of money. It's going to cost them a lot of money, because pretty much so with the targeted ads, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. Their products were driven specifically to specific clientele or customers that were looking for what it is that they offer. So that pretty much so took that marketing platform away. So they're going to have to find an alternative form of marketing in Europe outside of the standard marketing that they use as it is all the time. The impact is going to be pretty ginormous, in the fact that Facebook's current tracking practice is illegal and huge. So Facebook's business model is going to be affected hardcore, and so will Instagram as well. It's pretty popular as well. I don't know if it's nearly as popular as Facebook or what, or Twitter these days, because Twitter's being blown up now because of all the stuff going on with Elon Musk. But at any instance, Facebook generates a lot of revenue off of ads, and it's going to be impacted hard. And so that is going to drive Facebook to make other changes. Now, whether it makes it to where it's a pay-as-you-go platform anymore, or free anymore versus a pay-as-you-go platform, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure these guys are going to either, wind up going by the wayside, like becoming defunct apps like WhatsApp maybe. I don't think Instagram will. But, WhatsApp is a private messenger. So, I don't know what the effect will be, but I do believe that's owned by Facebook as well. So, I don't know the ramifications on that app, but I'm sure that Facebook's going to change the way that it does business. Also, Instagram might change the way that they do business. We'll have to look and see. It's going to make it a little rocky as that, for the future of those apps and our users, usability of it. So we'll have to keep checking in on that. But anyhow, guys, that's it for today's news. Greatly appreciate you guys. Once again, it's the end of the year. Thanks for all the support you guys have given me all year long. You guys stay blessed, stay happy, stay merry at these holiday seasons. And of course, y'all keep doing what you do, and y'all keep on Linuxing.